Okay, so today we are going to solve general applications of percents. First thing we want to do is we want to discuss the different ways that we could do this problem. There's a couple of different ways, a couple of different methods. I tend to use what we call the sentence method. And then there's the is over of method. And I'll show you both ways and you guys can decide which is your favorite. I won't do every single problem using both methods, but I'll do a couple using both methods and then you can make your decision what you like. But you should still get the same answer either way. So on this problem right here, anytime you see the word is means, is means equals, okay? Of means multiply, all right? So if you see the term what number, that's where you put in a variable, okay? So we will just read this as what number, so I'm going to put an X. This is using the sentence method. X, remember the word is means equals 35%. Now with the sentence method you have to change all of your percents into decimals. So I would put 0.35 of means multiply. I'm going to use a parenthesis to indicate multiplication. And I'm going to put 90 inside the parentheses. Now you just solve the problem. So in this case I would do 0.35 times 90. And I get X is equal to 31.5. Okay, that's my answer using the sentence method. Now on is over of method, what that means is what comes near the word is goes on top, what comes near the word of goes on bottom. So the actual formula looks like this: is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so what number is, I don't know what the is, so I'm going to put an X in there. 35%, that's a given. Always your percent goes over 100, so 35 over 100. Of 90, so the 90 goes in the of position, which is on the bottom left. Now you would solve this just like you would a proportion. So you would cross multiply 90 times 35 equals 100 times X. Okay, so I get 100 X is equal to, then I have to divide by 100. And I ran out of room, so I'm going to move it over here. X is equal to 31.5. So I still get the same answer, I just did it in two different ways. Okay, with this problem right here, again, using the sentence method, I've got to turn that into a decimal. So I would have, scoot the decimal to the left two places, I would have 1.25 of means multiply of 28 is, so equals what number, that means X. So on my calculator I would do 1.25 times 28 and I get that 35 equals X, or you could write it the other way around, X equals 35. If I use the is over of method, so I would put this right here in the percent location, so 125 over 100. With the is over of method, you don't have to change your decimals. You don't have to change percents into decimals or vice versa. It's automatically given to you. So of 28, of number goes on bottom, is what number, that goes on top. And again, you cross multiply So I get 100x is equal to 3,500. Divide by 100. I get that x is equal to 35. So I get the same answer doing that with the two different methods. Okay, on this problem, I'm just going to use the sentence method. So read it from left to right. Write down what you read. So 36, I'm going to write that down first. Is means equals. 75%, I'm going to write that as a decimal, 0.75. Of means multiply. What number means x? So another way to write this would be 36 is equal to 0.75x. I have to divide both sides by 0.75. And I get that x is equal to 48. So what that means is 36 is 75% of 48. That makes sense. Okay, this question is saying 6.5% of what number is $1.17? So I'm going to turn that into a decimal, so 0.065 of means multiply. What number means x? Is means equals $1.17. So what you do to solve this, you would divide both sides by 0.065. And you get that x is equal to 18. Okay, this is a problem that I'm actually going to show you both methods again because it says what percent of 36 is 9. So again, I'm going to read this and write down what I see as soon as I read it. What percent means x? Of means multiply. 36 is means equals 9. So in this problem right here, I could also have written it like this. And then I divide both sides by 36. And I get that x is equal to 1/4, which is also the same as 0.25, which is the same as, remember I'm looking for a percent, 25%. Okay, so let me show you using the is over of method. So I've got what percent, I don't know my percent, so I'm going to put an x over the 100 because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the percent of 36. Remember it's is over of, so I'm going to put the 36 on bottom. Is 9, 9 goes on top. So again, you cross multiply to solve this thing. So I get 900 is equal to 36x. Divide by 36. And I get that x is equal to 25. Now what I want you to notice is that I don't have to move my percent because in the original problem we wrote it to be something over 100, so that means 25 over 100. What does 25 over 100 mean? 25 over 100 means 25%. Okay, this problem, 144 is what percent? What percent means x? Of means multiply. 96 goes in here. I could have also written it as 144 is equal to 96x. Divide by 96. And I get that x is equal to 1.5. But notice I didn't set anything up as this over 100, so I actually have to move the decimal 2 places, so I would get 150%. Okay, so in this problem right here, a couple enjoys a dinner at a restaurant, has a bill of $68.50. They want to leave an 18% tip If the tip will be 18% of the total bill, how much should the tip be? So you would take $68.50 times 0.18, and that gives you your answer, $68.50 times 0.18, and I get $12.33. And that actually is our answer. Notice they did not ask us what the total bill would be. They only asked us how much should the tip be. So if they'd asked us what the total bill would be, you would add the $12.33 to the $68.50. Okay, on this problem right here it says, the label on Maceo's breakfast cereal said that one serving of cereal provides 85 milligrams of potassium, which is 2% of the recommended daily amount. What is the total recommended daily amount of potassium? So in this problem, we're looking at this line right here, and they told us that 2% is 85 milligrams. So 0.02 times the total amount is 85. So in this problem I would divide by 0.02 on both sides, and I get that your total amount that you should receive in potassium each day is 4,250 milligrams. Okay, sometimes whenever you read these problems they can be kind of confusing. Typically, what you want to do if you're confused about what's being asked is go back to the part just before the question mark, and that helps you a lot by deciphering what you should be looking for. So in this problem it says, Mitzi received some gourmet brownies as a gift. The wrapper said each brownie was 480 calories and had 240 calories of fat. What percent of the total calories in each brownie comes from fat? So I'm going to write it down in algebraic form just like I read it in the problem. What percent means x, of means multiply, total calories. Do I know the total calories? Yes, it's right here. Comes from fat, so we want equals the fat calories. So we would have 480x is equal to 240. Divide by 480, and you get that x is equal to 0.5. But it says what percent, so I've got to turn this decimal into a percent. So this would be, scoot it over 2 places, 50%. Okay, to do a percent of increase problem, you take your new amount and you subtract your old amount, then you divide by the old amount. So in this problem it says they raised the community college fees from 26 to 36. So the new amount is 36. So 36 minus 26, and I have to divide by the old amount, which is 26. And whenever I do that math on my calculator, first I subtract, so I would do 10 over 26. Then I get that decimal. That decimal looks like this, 0.384615, ... It goes on. So I really only care about, in most classes I typically only care about 1 decimal place. If I'm dealing with money, I want 2 decimal places. So with a problem like this, I would really only look for 1 decimal place. So I'm going to scoot this to the right 2 places because I'm looking for a percent. And then I need to determine if I round this number right here up or not. So I have to look right there. So I've got 38.5% increase. Okay, again, so on this problem we're looking for a percent, but this time it'll be a decrease. And you'll be able to tell that it's a decrease because we're going to have a negative number here. So if we do the same formula that we did on the last one, new minus old divided by old. So it says here we've got June 2014 and then we've got July. So July is going to be our newest amount, so 3.64 minus the old, which is 3.71, and we divide by the old, and the old would be the June price. So on my calculator I would do 3.64 minus 3.71, and I get negative 0.07 over 3.71, and then I divide. And I get a decimal that looks like this, negative 0.01 8867 dot dot dot. Okay, so again, to get the percent, I've got to scoot this to the right 2 places. So it's a 1 point. I need to decide if I want to round this number right here, this 8. Because this 8 is 5 or greater, I'm going to round it up. So a negative 1.9% decrease. And I know that it's a decrease because it's negative.